Hi everyone, Sharon here with Mac Senior and day 16. So today we started out by going to the media market for Ishvan's mom to, I don't know, to get some sort of a cord for her TV. And there was this pastry shop next to it. I told Ishvan, you go in and get that. I'm going to videotape these cakes. That purse just amazed me. And most of this is fondant, and I love the way fondant looks, but I can't do it because you really have to work with your hands, and my hands are just not strong enough to work with fondant. But aren't they pretty? And then um, this was, I thought, incredible video. It must have been taken with a GoPro camera because it was taken a lot of it underwater, and I know GoPros can do that. Anyway, I just was amazed. I stood there and watched that. And then after we got out of there, I asked Ishvan to ask them if I could take video, and they said no, only photographs. So I said, okay. And I just took some photographs. And this was a really pretty tile on the floor. And that's a cake. That car is a cake. All of these things that you see in the window were cakes. They got some talented people there. And this is Ishvan um, at the bread section of a market. I think their markets are very interesting, the way they display things. And we're now on our way to the National Theater. This is just some more shots through our dirty window. I think that was the basilica. We passed by it. Yeah, that's the basilica where King Ishvan's hand is. And I think I showed you pictures of his 1,000-year-old hand on a previous video. And Budapest got a big Ferris wheel. Can you see it there in the distance? That's something that's new. I have some closer up shots of it later on. And Ishvan said all of these trees are new. So, and then that's the Jewish synagogue to the left there. And I thought that was kind of a interesting building. Some of the things that look so interesting from the car, as I look at them through the video, it's not that interesting anymore. But anyway, I'm going to let it run. I'm not sure what that building was. This one was a really amazing building, we thought. And that's also something new. And we're getting closer to the National Theater now, and all of these buildings are new. So here we are at the National Theater, and they have this big structure like curtains pulled back, and you walk through the curtains. And then they have a lot of these bronze statues around. I think that guy was a famous poet or something. We really like this building and all of the grounds around it too. Lots of bronze sculptures, and this is the National Theater from a distance. And Hungarians always put their last name first. And Ishvan, even when he calls his mother, he'll say Shanko Ishvan, which I just think is strange, but that's the way they do it. And this kind of symbolizes the old style has fallen down, and the new ship of state, so to speak, is rising up. And I just loved the lush green, because we don't have green lawns anymore back home. So green is just one of my favorite things now. And those are interesting statues at the top of the entrance going into the National Theater. And then this is looking to the prow of the ship. I tried to get a little bit closer to those different statues up at the top. Isn't it an interesting building? Now, this is like a Tower of Babel, so to speak, and you can walk around and around all the way to the top of it. But this is a really good view, I think, of the National Theater. And then this is looking at the back side of the curtains as we were leaving. Oh, and that's Unicum, which is the most horrible drink that a lot of Hungarians love. That was their home port. Now we're inside the largest farmers market in Hungary, and it's the building that was designed by Eiffel. And I just loved the colors. And farmers markets are Istvan's favorite thing to visit. So we took probably way too much video inside this building, but here it is anyway. These were dried slices of fruit. Oh, and Ishwan wanted to take a video of me eating this pear. Boy, was it good too. And then, this is more of the pastry shop and those little round things that are called pagacha, and they're little salty biscuits, and they are delicious. I get really fat eating those. More of the bakery and chocolates and chocolate covered walnuts and stuff. I don't know what those were, but they were huge. And then these were the fruit. That's called ribli, and they're like little tiny currants. And then these were some of the clothes that you can buy there also. Very colorful. And they had this mushroom exhibit. Oh, I don't know what these were either, but they were fascinating uh, little plants. I don't know if there's more of them coming up. I don't know if they were succulents or what, but these things right here, aren't they interesting? Very strange things. And I think those trees are okay. So here's the the mushroom exhibit, and it showed you they had fake trees in there that show you the trees that those kinds of mushrooms grow under, which I thought was a great way to display them. And then this one showed the death caps that will certainly kill you if you eat them. And that guy had two metal legs, and we thought he was doing really well walking on them. And then this is the National Museum. And just street scenes while we drive to Parliament. And then there's that Ferris wheel again. And the basilica in the background, another view of the basilica. And then we get closer to the Ferris wheel. I like Ferris wheels. Maybe I'll talk Ishvan into taking a ride. That would be interesting video from up on top of that. Boy, it's big. And that's a view of Castle Hill. There's the Freedom Eagle, or maybe that's not what they call it, but there's a big eagle that is part of the entryway to the castle. Oh, there's my thumb in the way. You have to really watch when you're shooting video on an iPhone that you don't get your finger or your thumb in the way. I just love these old buildings. Actually, that old building, you'll see it better, but that was the Four Seasons Hotel. And then this is looking towards Parliament. We're getting closer. And Ishvan found a great parking space. He says he has good parking karma. So here we are, very close to Parliament. We're actually on the Parliament grounds. I think this is the south side of the building. I remember the first time Ishvan brought me, there was a lot of scaffolding around this building because they were cleaning it, and it was really almost black, and it is all done now, and it's so clean looking. This was a memorial to 1956 when the Hungarians kind of rose up against the Russians, and the Russian soldiers that were there at the time, they loved the Hungarians, and they weren't really doing a good job. And so Russia called them back, sent in troops that didn't know any Russians, and they just squashed them. And so this is a memorial underneath Parliament that had a lot of footage, video of the people when it actually happened. And a lot of the people that died were young people. And here I'm holding my camera upside down, but this was a tank in 3D that came towards you and then fired to give you, I guess, a feeling of what it was like to be there. And then they have, you know, some of the clothing of the soldiers at the time. And this is one of the flags, a Hungarian flag that got shot. And this is a memorial to all of the people that died on that day. And these old stainless steel plaques have the names of the people and their ages, and that's where we could tell how many of them were so young. There were 12-year-olds and on up that were killed. And this guy, this colorful guy, is a Hungarian hussar. They are a horse regiment, I believe. And this was the changing of the guards around the flag. And I'm not real crazy about that kind of goose step look because I don't know, it reminds me of Nazis. But that's what they do. And they are definitely not Nazis. And this is just me taking a sort of a 360-degree shot of Parliament. And then in a little bit, you'll see those soldiers, the soldiers that got relieved, are coming back into Parliament. And Ishvan said he heard the lead guy say regular steps, and so now they're walking in a regular manner. But it's still part of the changing of the guard. So we had to walk around the whole building to where visitors go in. But, oh, and this guy, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Kossuth, he was the first prime minister, and that was back in 18 something. It's when they went from being, I guess, some sort of a kingdom to a republic. This is my latte. And we found out that we couldn't go in and take photographs of the crown. They don't allow any kind of photographs, not video and not still shots. And these are some of the interesting purses that you could buy in the gift shop. So I had to just go to the internet and get a picture of the crown. And then this is a painting of King Ishvan. But here's a little bit of history. Did you know that the reason the Catholic Church rings their bells at noon all over the world is because the Pope at the time was so pleased with King Ishvan making his people become Catholics from being pagans, that one of the things he did was he gave him that crown, and he said from now on at noon all the church bells will ring to commemorate that the Hungarians becoming Catholic. I thought that was interesting. I love history and stuff like that. So this is just looking across the Duna at Buda, the Buda side, because Budapest is really two cities. It's Buda and Pest. And I just love this part of Parliament. It's really a cool building. Oh, and this, I tried to take a pano shot, and it was just a little too much. And so I did a lesser pano. And they're repairing part of the wall in front of it. And so this is those guys doing that. And this is some famous poet that Ishvan really likes. And it's real hazy, so you can't see well. But, oh, and that's the Prime Minister's office as we were walking back to the car. I took that image. Oh, and now we're actually on the chain bridge. And Ishvan we're going across it so that he can bring me back around and show you what it looks like from the Buda side going to the Pest side. And at the end of the chain bridge on the Pest side is the Four Seasons Hotel, and it's beautiful. Okay, so here we are now. This is kind of a long video because I had my hand out the car so you wouldn't have to look at all the bugs on our windshield. But this is going across the chain bridge, and the chain bridge is the oldest chain bridge in all of Europe, and it's one of the most famous landmarks in Budapest. This almost looks like we're going in slow motion, but we're not. It's just traffic is bad across the bridge. But isn't that a neat hotel? Boy, it's beautiful inside. Also, if you ever come to Budapest, you should go inside that building because it's really unique and gorgeous. It's just some more interesting buildings around Parliament. Parliament's very close to the chain bridge in, I can't remember what that is, but it's a memorial to someone, and it's kind of like an eternal flame. It's always lit up. And that's pretty much it for day 16. We're on our way back home to Anyu's for stuffed cabbage. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with day 17.